It needs that signal. We need more power.
Welcome to the Voice of E, entertainment for the Everyday Geek. I am your host, Elliott Miller. Thanks for joining me in this look at all things related to geek culture, at least the stuff that I'm interested in anyway. First, in the world of board games, Ares Games has announced that they have entered into a publishing contract with Woden Games to produce Camelot: The Build, the first product from Woden Games in more than 20 years. Camelot: The Build is from game designer Julian Musgrave and continues Woden Games' themes of the Arthurian legend. It's a tile-laying game of medieval castle building with all sorts of dubious stratagems, cunning tricks, and subtle ploys.
I have known the team at Ares for a number of years and found them to be great people,
said Lawrence O'Brien, Director of Business Development for Woden Games.
Looking at quality of their production and games, it was a logical step to work with them.
Woden Games have always offered great games, and when they approached us, we saw the proven track record, said Christophe Cianci, CEO of Ares Games. They are looking to create quality hobby products, and it has been great working with them. Camelot: The Build is set to be launched at Gen Con in August 2013, where I might actually find out how close I am with my impersonations. Now, Stronghold Games is releasing count them, three mini-expansions for Survive: Escape from Atlantis, coming up on April 10th. The 5-6 player expansion, the Giant Squid, and the Dolphins and Dive Dice mini-expansions will all be available again at Stronghold Games and in the Board Game Geek store. These expansions have sold out in the past, so fans of Survive should keep their eyes peeled. Survive's a good game. Also coming to the BGG store next week are the CO2 Arctic Mini Expansion, the Core Worlds Buono Core World Promo Pack, and the Space Cadets Experimental Equipment and Crystals Promo Pack with the Ship of the Line Gray Plastic Miniature. These expansions are available only at Stronghold Games and in the BGG store. Visit strongholdgames.com or boardgamegeek.com to order yours today. I like the little miniature. It looks like a little Defiant from the Star Trek show. Wizards of the Coast has released Dungeon Command: Blood of Groomsh, the newest Dungeon Command faction pack. It's designed for 2 to 4 players. Dungeon Command is a head-to-head skirmish game that features themed miniature factions designed to play as unified war bands in a game that eliminates luck-driven mechanics in favor of player-driven skill. Creativity and quick thinking help as well. Blood of Groomsh includes such monstrous miniatures as the Orc Archer, the Barbarian, the Chieftain, and the Orc Cleric of Groomsh. Each Dungeon Command faction comes in its own box containing 12 pre-painted plastic miniatures, plus the cards, tiles, and rules for the game. In addition to their use in Dungeon Command, these miniatures can also be used in the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game, with their cards further usable with D&D Adventure System board games like The Legend of Drizzt, Castle Ravenloft, and Wrath of Ashardalon. While each faction is meant to be played by a single player, Quick Start rules allow 2 players to engage in a shortened version of the game, using only 1 box, so you can try before you buy. The MSRP for Blood of Groomsh is $39.99, and additional information can be found at dungeonsanddragons.com. Speaking of Wizards of the Coast, it has been a while since I've played Magic the Gathering, the actual card game. I've played the online version, Duels of the Planeswalkers 2013, quite a bit, and it's a great time. I've had a blast playing this game. But there's nothing like that old feeling of opening a new booster pack so that you can find out which rares you've managed to pick up. And I've got here 3, yes, count them, 3 new Gatecrash expansion packs for Magic. And I've decided to open them here with you, yes, with you, to share in the booster pack excitement. Remember, the cards with the gold expansion symbols are the rare ones. Silver is uncommon, and black is common. Here we go. The excitement is completely intense. Yes, the Gatecrash expansion. 15 card booster pack. Here's the first one. A massive raid. Yeah, whatever. Night Witch. Containment Ground. Hydroform.
Ruination Worm. Razor Tip Whip. Razor Tip. Clinging anemones. Hey, with friends like that, who needs them, right? Furious Resistance. Forced Adaptation. Uh-oh, here's an uncommon. Skarg Guildmage. Ooh, Skarg Guild. Oh, another uncommon. Rapid Hybridization. Another one. Killing Glare. Ow, my eye. Oh, okay. I know what that is. Here it is. The High Priest of Penance. This is my rare. Human Cleric. Whenever High Priest of Penance is dealt damage, you may destroy target non-land permanent. That's interesting. And look how cheap he is. Look, he's cheap. Tawdry, I'm tawdry. Yeah, here you swamp. Look, a card. Oh. Deck boxes. Oh, okay. Gate Crash. Booster Pack 2. Segment lasting too long. Must work faster. Yes, okay. No. Scatter Pit. Skylance. Forced Adaptation. Yes. Horror of the Dim. That's horrifying. Yes. Boros Key Rune. It's an artifact, eh? Yes, that's uncommon. Very uncommon. Fire Fist Striker. Ow! My fist. Cartel Aristocrat. Not cat. Crat. Also uncommon. Stolen Identity. Of course it's a blue spell. Who would not think it's a blue spell? This is my rare. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of a target artifact or creature. It's a sorcery. It also has Cipher. I don't even know what the heck Cipher means. Then the rare Forest. What is this? Planeswalker points. A knight. Interesting. I don't know what that is. Oh. If I could just keep the camera on the last pack. The last pack. Which is being opened as we speak. Okay. Nobody cares. No. Yes, look at that. Oh, look at some of these cards. Spectacular. Act of Treason. Passage. Gear. A Nimbus Swimmer. That's uncommon. Mental Vapors. I had those last week, actually. It's also uncommon. The White of Precinct 6. Yes, Precinct 6 always is troubled by those whites. That's a zombie, eh? Huh? And finally, the last rare card I got from this pack. Undercity Plague. No one should tell Warcraft about this. Target player loses 1 life, discards a card, then sacrifices a permanent, and kills his shopkeeper friend. No, that's not there. It says Cipher. So, you would have to cipher something. And a mountain! Yes! And an emblem. Doom Raid. For Friday Night Magic. Don't forget Friday Night Magic, yes. I might actually try the Wednesday night D&D encounters. Sounds like a cool one is starting up. I'll have more info on that. Maybe on the next show. So that's it. There's 3 packs of magic cards from the new Gate Crash expansions. Let's get back to the show.
Fantasy Flight Games has announced the upcoming release of Planet Steam, a board game of production and commerce in a steam-powered future. In Planet Steam, quite unlike Planet Hollywood, 2 to 5 players take the roles of entrepreneurs in a steampunk boomtown, racing to assemble equipment, claim plots of land, extract resources, and accumulate riches. After harvesting resources using tanks and converters, players must buy and sell their newfound materials in a volatile and ever-shifting market. The one who earns the most income will, in the end, be victorious. However, only through shrewd resource management and clever manipulation of supply and demand can any player reign supreme. An engaging economic and bidding game, Planet Steam stands apart due to its stunningly illustrated steampunk setting. Massive airships, mechanical wonders of their time, patrol the sky over a gray steam landscape that's dotted with massive extraction tanks. During the course of a game, players will bid on this resource-rich territory, purchase and upgrade their extraction equipment, manage the storage of their newly acquired resources, and buy and sell their resources on the open market. With tense bidding, challenging resource management, and compelling decisions, Planet Steam is sure to become a quick favorite among fans of economic games. And best of all, its well-crafted and engaging mechanics fit perfectly alongside its beautifully imagined steampunk setting. Outwit and outmaneuver your rivals. Create shortages of flood. Where is my flood? Why must create shortages of them? Are you canny enough to turn a handful of credits into a fortune? Planet Steam is due to be released this summer. And that reminds me. Don't go anywhere. Hold on. I gotta show you this. Yeah. Yeah, Star Wars miniatures game. Got it. There it is, the Millennium Falcon. It is out now. Get them while they're hot. Okay, there it is, the Millennium Falcon. Woo. What's this Millennium Falcon going to be chasing? You might be asking yourself. Well, of course, it's going to be chasing Slave One. As a little plug, I have to throw in that I got these off Miniatures Market because, well, they had a big sale on Slave One, and so that's where I went and got it. Yes, we're going to see if Chewie and, Billy D. Williams can rescue Han, before he gets turned into a frog, whatever. And finally, WizKids/NECA is inviting gamers, collectors, and Star Trek fans alike to recreate some of the most iconic battles in Star Trek lore. Just today, when I recorded this on Sunday, WizKids announced the latest board game, Monday, okay? The latest board game title to join their Star Trek HeroClix Miniatures game lineup, Star Trek Attack Wing. It features collectible, pre-painted Star Trek ships and the Flight Path maneuver system licensed from Fantasy Flight Games. Under license by CBS Consumer Products, Star Trek Attack Wing is expected to launch late summer at Gen Con ND 2013, which sounds like the place to be. Players engage in exploration and combat, traversing sprawling Star Trek space maps made available via an in-store organized play program. As commander, players have the ability to customize, upgrade, and assign famous crew members to their fleets, which feature ships from the series' prominent empires and forces, as well as special stats and abilities, and unique maneuvers on separate HeroClix combat dials. As a huge Trek fan, I'm looking forward to seeing what WizKids can bring to the table. That's it for board game news this week. Now, let's get on to some movie news. This weekend saw the release of The Great and Powerful Oz, or Oz the Great and Powerful, starring James Franco as the Wizard, Michelle Williams as Glenda the Good Witch, and Mila Kunis as Theodora. The Great and Powerful Oz is directed by Sam Raimi, and Michelle Williams talked about Oz at this past Comic-Con. Here's what she had to say.
It really is. I've never been here. I've never been anywhere like here. And I was asking Sam and Mila for some tips about it, and Sam said something that really stuck with me. He said, what's so great about Comic-Con is that the fans are the stars, and it's really all about them. To have an opportunity to work with Sam, the man, Raimi, my other witches, Oz, our leader, I felt very lucky to be included in that group, and also to put it's nice to put a little bit of good back into the world. It really is, I think, at its heart, a family movie, and I was excited to be a part of that.
Oz the Great and Powerful is rated PG and is showing now at theaters everywhere. Also in theaters is Jack the Giant Slayer, in which an ancient war is reignited when a young farmhand unwittingly opens a gateway between our world and a fearsome race of giants. Unleashed on the earth for the first time in centuries, the giants strive to reclaim the land they once lost, forcing the young man, Jack, Nicholas Hoult, into the battle of his life to stop them. Fighting for a kingdom and its people and the love of a brave princess, he comes face to face with the unstoppable warriors he thought only existed in legend, and gets the chance to become a legend himself. Acclaimed filmmaker Bryan Singer directs this 3D epic. I'm telling ya, he directs it. Jack the Giant Slayer, starring Nicholas Hoult in the title role. The film also stars Eleanor Tomlinson as Princess Isabel, Stanley Tucci as the deceitful Lord Roderick, Ian McShane, hey, who doesn't love Ian McShane, as the besieged King Bromwell, Bill Nighy as the Giants' leader, General Fallon, and Ewan McGregor as Palace Guard Elmont. I love Ewan McGregor. Thanks, Ewan. Here's a clip from the movie featuring Nicholas Hoult and Ewan McGregor, a giant and a bunch of pigs.
You're here.
You sound surprised.
Well, we're miles up and you're afraid of heights.
I'm not afraid. Just not wildly keen.
Foe and fun.
Get Elmont.
Like mankind, so well done. Fallon likes them raw and red, freshly snatched and not quite
Don't worry. I'll get you out. I had this, Jack. I took my eye off the ball just for a moment. I had this. Ow, careful.
Take this.
Got it.
tasty treats. Then eats.
Jack the Giant Slayer is rated PG-13 and is now showing in theaters everywhere. In the world of the spooky, yes, I love spooky, last week saw the debut of a new paranormal show on Sci Fi. Created by Josh Gates of Destination Truth fame, Stranded is an all-new reality series that documents an unconventional and terrifying paranormal and psychological experiment. Each episode features the self-recorded footage of a diverse group of everyday paranormal enthusiasts, from newlyweds and a brother-in-law to a trio of roommates. Each team of 3 will be stranded at one of the most haunted locations in America and record the entire experience with handheld cameras, creating a suspenseful, completely unscripted first-hand account of each group's stay. Over the course of the confinement, which is 5 days, the group will cope with increasingly pervasive feelings of fear and desolation, resulting in an experiment that represents a unique combination of psychology and the paranormal. Stranded is executive produced by Brad Kuhlman, Casey Brummels, and Josh Gates for Ping Pong Productions, and Jason Blum for Blumhouse, the production company behind the Paranormal Activity feature film franchise and movies like Insidious and Sinister. If you have missed either of the first 2 episodes, you can catch up with them on sci-fi.com. That's SYFY. I've seen the first episode and found it especially creepy. With only non-professionals performing the investigations and cameras scattered throughout the locations, the show really has a creepy feel similar to the Blair Witch Project or the Paranormal Activity series. You can catch Stranded on Sci-Fi Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Central Time. Yes, I speak in Central Time. This week in comics. According to Diamond Comic Distributors, the top-selling comic for February was The Justice League of America #1 from DC Comics, created by Geoff Johns and David Finch. In issue 1, the march toward Trinity War begins with part 1 of the world's most dangerous. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Catwoman, Katana, Vibe, Hawkman, Stargirl. They aren't the world's greatest superheroes, but they're the most dangerous. But why does a team like the JLA need to exist? What is their ultimate mission? And who is pulling the strings? Plus, find out why Martian Manhunter is the most dangerous of them all. You can still find issue 1 at your favorite comic book shop, and issue 2 is due out on March the 20th. Coming this week from Dark Horse Comics is issue 3 of their new smash hit Star Wars title. The new title features the further adventures of Han, Luke, and Leia, all your favorite original Star Wars characters. Considering that all 3 are rumored to have signed on to appear in Star Wars Episode 7, this might be a good time to catch up with them. Yes, remember. Star Wars 3 features the team of Brian Wood, Carlos D'Anda, and cover artist Alex Ross. Issue 1 has already sold out of its first 2 printings. A 3rd printing is in the works. And if you've never been introduced to Zenescope Comics, you've been missing some of the hottest comics currently in publication. Have no fear, the Best of Zenescope Special Edition number 1 has just been released. Reprinting 4 classic Zenescope stories including Jack and the Beanstalk, Sinbad, Return to Wonderland, and Neverland. And this issue is perfect for introducing new fans to Zenescope and the Grimm Fairy Tales universe. So, also included in this edition is a new, never-before-published Grimm Fairy Tales story. The Best of Zenescope Special Edition number 1 will set you back $6.99, and I recommend it only for mature readers. Marvel Comics kicked off their newest event this week with the release of Age of Ultron number 1. Enter the darkest days of the Marvel Universe from the creative team of Brian Michael Bendis and Brian Hitch in Age of Ultron number 1. Evil has triumphed over good, and leading this new age none other than Ultron, the deadly sentient robot created by founding Avenger Hank Pym, who turned on his creator to achieve his twisted objective, the utter destruction of humanity. Now, it's up to the few remaining heroes to band together and find any way to topple their new monarch. Can Wolverine, Emma Frost, Invisible Woman, Taskmaster, Beast, She-Hulk, Luke Cage, Spider-Man, and Moon Knight turn the tide? With the robotic revolution in full force, no fan can miss how Age of Ultron will ultimately change the Marvel Universe, leaving no hero or villain unscathed. The Age of Ultron event will span the Marvel Universe as a massive 10-issue series, and it all begins this month, right now. Finally, those interested in attending Wizard World Philadelphia the weekend of May 30th will have the exclusive opportunity to meet Nathan Fillion of Serenity, Firefly, and Castle fame. This will be Nathan's first Wizard World appearance. He'll be meeting Wizard World fans, posing for photo ops, signing autographs, and conducting an interactive Q&A at Philadelphia Comic-Con. Nathan will be joining comics legend Stan Lee, Summer Glau, his old Firefly teammate, William Shatner, the Walking Dead duo of Michael Rooker and Norman Reedus, and Mo Bannett as headliners scheduled at the event held May 30th through June 2nd. Tickets for Wizard World Philly are on sale now at wizardworld.com. Well, that's all the geek news for this week. Make sure to subscribe to the Voice of E channel to keep up to date on all the latest news and reviews for board games, comics, movies, toys, and anything that I happen to think is cool. My name is Elliott Miller. It is? Yes. My name is Elliott Miller, and thanks for watching.